Okay, hopefully this will show you how to use the MyCard system, or I'm sorry, the MyCourses system. So in MyCourses, you will come to your AHA instructor network and log in, and you're looking for, let me change the color on that, that'll make more sense. That right there, MyCourses, and you will click on that. And then when you click on that, you will then need to add a new class. You add a new class. All this pops up, and this is where you will put in the information for your class. So the fourth, I'm just going to pick one. We'll just say it's a BLS provider course. And the training center is always going to be Northwest Shoals. The instructor will be you, and then your information will show up. Now you need to pick a location, and you can add a new location or you can pick one that's already there. For me, I'm going to pick Northwest Shoals, and you have to add a class schedule. So just to make something up, I'm going to say EMT class and the date. I'm going to say today's date, and we'll start it at, oh, let's say 4:30, and we'll end it in 3 hours at, say, 7:30. Click your add, and it pops up to class schedule. Now, if you have a second instructor you wish to add, you can add them at this point. I'm not going to. If you have a note for your students, like, oh, don't forget the book, I can put that reminder in. This is nice if you have a class like in a couple of weeks, and you can set multiple reminders. I'm just going to set the one. So a day before, it will send a reminder um, about don't forget your book. Now, the roster limit. I always overestimate how many people I have possible for my class, but realize that once I save this, it's live on the American Heart Association website, and anybody looking for a class will be able to find this. So just to make sure it's hard, well, today's date for the cutoff date because today's the class. And then at the bottom you click save. And then the whole thing resets, and it pops up at the top there, says your class has been added successfully. Good. So this is now live on the American Heart Association website, and if somebody starts looking for a class, they could find it and sign up for it, which is going to be awkward here around 4:30 if they show up at the school looking for my class and I'm not here. If I know who my students are and have some information on them, I can go ahead and start adding students. So I click on the Add Student button right there. And when I do that, it takes me to the student entry page, and I'm just going to use my wife as an example. So Lucinda, last name, her address is at 123, and she lives in Anytown, Alabama, and the zip there is 12345. I'm not going to worry about an institution, but because it has a red asterisk, I had to put something in, so you should put like NA. I'm just going to put the area code in for the phone numbers right now. That's fine. If she wants to add it in later, she can add it in later. And then I'm going to use her, or use an email address. I'm just going to make one up, lucinda@email.com. Hopefully that's not like a real email address. If it is, that may be awkward. Um, and now I can see that they have been successfully added. To add another student, you must click the back button. And when you click the back button, it takes you back to your course. And then you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. A little bit of a headache there, but you can see that I already have one signed up, and that was the one that I put in. And if I wanted to add another student, I would have to click Add Students. Now, when this is all done and you've added all the students you want to add, make sure you click Save. And then it again says it's successfully been updated and everything looks good. Now, when you're done with the class, send me a text or an email or a message somehow saying that I taught a BLS provider class on October the 5th. And what I will do when I get that information, I'll go to my dashboard and I will go to MyCourses, and then I will update an existing class. And when I do that, I said it was a BLS course, so let's do a BLS provider, and I said it was October the 5th. The instructor was Todd, and when I click that, Todd's classes show up, and it was, oops, sorry about that, it's bounced around a little bit. It was October the 5th. And then all that class information pops up. And as a training center coordinator, this makes it really easy for me, because if you go down to this roster thing, I have this go to manage roster, and I will click on that link, and then this pops up that shows all the students and all that, and I can very easily just click and I'm sorry, manage e-cards, press that first, then I can click on it, whoever I want to, whoever finished the course, and then I can assign e-cards. And when I do that, the students get their e-cards emailed to them. So it's a pretty easy system afterwards. It can be a little hard to set up initially. Um, it just takes a little more time, especially if you have this pulled up and every student that comes in has to type in all this information. It can take a good 15-20 minutes for every student to type in their information. But as I said, this is live on the American Heart Association website right now. So I wish there was a way to send a link to it, but they don't have that right now. So, but they can go to the website and they can look for classes that say in Muscle Shoals, because that's where Northwest Shoals is, and then that will show up that this course is there and they can register for it. So you can have students do this ahead. The problem I have with setting it up and having it out there public and people signing up ahead of time is anybody could come and sign up for this class. So then you would have people that you're not really prepared for or don't want to have in that class. Maybe you're doing it for your organization and you only want your employees to be there, and then somebody from outside the organization has signed up. You can always email them and say this is not for you and take them back out. But it's a little confusing for the students. So I usually set this up moments before the class starts, and then I can have people sign up. You can always get all the information on paper and then type it in yourself later. That's a bit of a headache. And if you mistype something, then they might not get their card. So that's what's nice about letting the students do it themselves. That way, if there's a mistake with the email, it's their mistake and not yours. Um, but afterwards, just let me know. I can go in, manage e-cards, assign e-cards, and it's very easy for the students to get their cards. You still have to go to the CashNet website and pay for them, but this is how you will use the MyCourses part of the American Heart Association Instructor Network. Hope it helped. Thanks.